Hey everyone! Last time on Warrior Within we had a pretty exciting episode. We finally killed the Empress of Time, but instead of preventing the creation of the Sands of Time, that actually started it. So now we're on the track of the Mask of the Wraith, which is going to give the prince a second chance to go back and do something else, like not kill the Empress. Shame it's not in that chest, that would have made the quest a lot easier. Speaking of making things easier, it looks like we're going to be doing some fighting with the broken sword. I hate this weapon. I'm not even really sure you can call it a weapon. It's just a thing that's there so the prince has something to do when you hit the square button. And I can't run up the walls here either. This part of the castle is made of a lot of walls that you can't run up. So you're going to do most of your damage probably by getting these enemies to hit each other. If you got the secret that I skipped in the last episode, then you may actually have a weapon that damages them. Clearly I don't, so I'm just flailing around and not accomplishing anything here. You know, normally these guys would either be dead or at the very least badly hurt at this point. Really, there's only one way to deal with them. But I want to get some sand, so time to bring back an old favorite. And now I've got a weapon that can do some damage. And some sand. Typically, I think you'd want to either avoid these guys completely or just throw all of them off platforms. Because fighting is not worth it. But I used a ton of sand running away from the Dahaka last time. I kinda need a refill. And these guys are very accommodating. Granted, I don't like having to use this move because it's not interesting to watch, but it's really all you've got. And it does at least lead to some good finishes. I'm not really sure where the Mask of the Wraith is supposed to be. The prince just knows that he needs to find it. But there's only one path, so it's not like I'm gonna get lost or anything. Check it out, 4 guys all at once. Definitely not dealing with them. Well, that accomplished a lot. And more walls I can't run up. What is with this place? What is with the walls? Or the prince? Or something. Of course, I keep forgetting about those moves, where you can just launch straight off the wall with the enemy. I think the wall run moves are much more fun, so I don't usually bother with just launching myself, but that seems to be pretty effective. I should really use that more often. There we go. Killed one, threw another off the edge. This one's almost dead. And the axe doesn't last long. Oh, thought that guy was thrown off the edge, but I guess he's still there. Take care of you. Alright, that's all of them. And there's my ticket out of here. Again, if you're playing along at home, just throw them all off the edge. You probably have a lot more sand at this point than I do.
A sword. Now how do I reach it?
Let me just guess we're going to be taking the long way around. But first, where is that fountain? There it is. Thank you, Perspectives. And of course, I still am looking for that secret that I know is out there somewhere. Gonna try and sneak up on these guys and maybe get some double damage back hits or something. Guess that didn't work out so well. I love that. I got interrupted before I could deal the finishing blows, so he just fell to pieces. Alright, you can stop doing that. I'm gonna take out this guy first, because at least I know I can hit him. And because the Kunoichi will be much easier to deal with once I've thrown away my weapon, and then I won't have anything to kill this guy with. Alright, should be able to throw it. And now she gets in the way. Sometimes it's like the enemies just don't want to die. You can go get a book or something. Just been wanting to read the latest Terry Pratchett, and I've not had time yet. So I can take her out with a sword here. Not enough damage. Oh well. Well, that works. We can keep up this pattern. Oh well, guess not.
Don't you know?
Well, she should be almost dead now, so we'll just go ahead and finish her off. This shouldn't take as long. Much better. Not that I really needed the sand, but there aren't a lot of places I could throw her and kill her at this point. Trying to throw enemies through doors probably isn't going to work all that well. So I got two paths here. That one seems too straightforward. Can't possibly be the right way. Indeed, I needed to go left. When you're given an option, the long way is always the right way. And I just missed the jump. No explanation for that one. At least the ones on the beams are pretty easy. And your penalty for failure is you gotta climb back up. Oh well. And most people don't take as much care on these narrow beams as I do and end up falling off and having to climb up all the time anyway. Not really sure there's a lot of difference. I just take it slow and try to stay on the beam. And now... that really looked like I hit her. Just a bit too late. Try again. Suppose the broken sword is good for something. And now we're already at the sword. I don't like what just happened with the colors. And now I don't even get the sword, but it's the Dahaka chase, so I'm pretty sure the secret is somewhere in here, probably in a barrel. Clearly, I'm wrong, but that's not going to stop me from trying, unfortunately. And one more go. Looks like there wasn't anything in any of the barrels. And I'm not going to waste my last sand tank on something frivolous like a secret that probably isn't even here, so I'm just going to play it safe and actually escape. Once again, not able to see the staircase going down until it's too late. Fortunately, the Dahaka has about the grip that one would expect when you're trying to grasp an eel or something, and I slip right through his tentacles. Yeah, that's it. Disappear. And now, this is how I should have done it in the first place. Of course, since I don't find anything, I figured I'd run it at high speed, but this is kind of interesting. Since they reloaded the room, the model for the sword is sitting right there. Yeah, well, can't do anything with it. Time for buttons. And I know it's not the switch directly across from it. Now, I'm pretty sure in the PS2 version, I could swear, they started by having you just go across and hit the two buttons on one side of the room, and then, you know, go over and hit the other ones, and it just took a little bit longer each time. But in this version, it seems like they always have you running back and forth, and the only thing I can figure is, with those increased load times for the PS3, they actually needed to make you stay in the room longer so they could load up the next area. Yeah, it's more Gimbal Lock's department than mine, anyway. And for all that, we get the Wind of Fate power, which is the upgraded version of Breath of Fate. Takes about twice as long to launch, uses twice as many sand tanks, and is pretty much twice as useless. I guess it probably hurts the enemies more, makes a bigger explosion, might actually knock some enemies off cliffs. But Ravages of Time is a much better use of 2 sand tanks. And that was about the worst timing I could possibly have had. You can actually still make it to safety if you mistime your run that badly. There you go. Not that I intended for that to happen, but it's pretty cool when it does. And I don't think I can get around that side. I'm going to save the rest of my sand tanks and just accept the hit. So nice, easy traps. Don't really know why they bothered with those, but this one is kind of fun. You actually have to use the crushing block as a platform to get under that rolling blade log. So, tricky bit of timing. And then I just gotta drop down, which is not the circle button in this version. There we go. And this bit looks intimidating. I don't think it really is. Got plenty of safe places to stand, and camera's your only real enemy here. Gotta swing it around so you can see what's going on. And that's it. Trap-filled corridor done. And even better, now we get to take the sword. I'm pretty sure he actually said that line aloud in the PS2 version. Just messed up in this one, I guess. But the Scorpion Sword is amazing. We don't get any new moves with it, but we do now have the power to break down cracked walls, like the status screen said. Not a lot of help in combat, but it's also a lot stronger than the Lion Sword was. Trying to pull off the charge move, because that'll kill these guys in one hit. Then again, almost anything I do will kill these guys pretty quickly now. One jump slash, and he's dead. Almost had it that time. And a kick in the face for my trouble. Not wasting time with you. And they're already dead. Now, where do I go? I don't think there's any... Oh, I see. More enemies. We're just waiting. I didn't even stab him and he died. I think I stepped on him or something. Pretty much any combo will kill these guys in one hit. And over here you can see the hole they were coming out of, but I can't get up into it no matter what I do. So I gotta go through the door that opens when you kill all the enemies, and now there's more of them. There we go. See, I didn't even hit that guy with the first stroke, and he just dropped dead. I'm gonna gush about this sword pretty much for the rest of the game. Just to warn you. Couple nice, easy traps. And there we have our first cracked wall. I guess someone boarded it up. Not really sure why they would do that when there's a wall there. It's not like the boards were any stronger than the wall. And it looks like this door isn't going to stay open long enough for me to go into it. Even the Eye of the Storm doesn't help, so I'm going to have to find a way to weigh it down. Good news is there's a lot of other doors in this room, and this lever opens them all. The bad news is we gotta fight some of these guys. No sooner do I get a sword that completely destroys all the enemies I've fought, then I gotta fight guys that you can't even hit very well. And they take a ton of damage, watch this. All that was just killing one guy. They block everything. I think you've got a couple of techniques that they won't block every time. Like the jump slash there, and of course the geography of this room is starting to get in the way. But I believe counterattacks they won't block. Possibly these pole moves they won't block. And some wall launches or other vaulting moves you might be able to get away with. Otherwise, most of the time they're going to block your attacks, which just makes them take even longer. And of course I gotta kill these guys because I'm going to need to move a block onto that switch. Can't really do it when I'm being attacked. And I'm also getting very low on health now. So I'm just going to go ahead and let that one stand. See, the handstand whirlwind attack doesn't work. And if you let them get in their 5-hit combo, the 4th hit knocks your guard down, and the 5th hit will always land. You just gotta keep plugging away at them. Yeah, I love the fighting in this game, but I don't want to have to do that much of it just to kill one enemy. Alright, that's the block. Just gonna check each room, make sure I'm not missing anything. Of course, I know where all the important secrets are, just not the ones that people have sent me videos of and said, hey, make sure you get this. It would be nice if that video had had a little more context. Just saying. Alright, we finally have an exit. And some easy guys. Thank you. And of course one of these. There's always one of these. No, I haven't faced worse than the likes of him. He blocked my spinning wall run attack. Alright, this is guaranteed on pretty much everything. Okay, nothing over there. More trap-filled corridor. And we're bringing in some of the last of the familiar elements from Sands of Time. putting the same traps we've seen before together in new and at least somewhat interesting patterns. Although here it's basically just waiting until they move to the right and then running past the same way I do every other time. Yet another room full of doors. And a lever that'll probably open them all and disgorge a whole bunch of enemies. Of course, I'm tired of dealing with enemies. It'll take care of most of them.
This flesh sack thinks he can stop us?
You're pretty much all stopped now. And somewhere in here, there it is. That button will open the exit. And I was kind of hoping I wouldn't need to slow down time. I might be able to make it if I just roll. But I've got plenty of sand at this point. And I'll be picking up plenty more. Plus, this way, time is still slowed down. I can get in a couple hits on these guys. A couple hits is never enough. Okay, that should leave just one, I think. See if I can use some advanced techniques to bring him down quickly. That was pretty advanced. There we go. Finally, the charge attack does me some good. That was actually really effective. I'll have to remember that for the future. Use charge attack on guys that like to spend their whole time blocking. And of course, coming up in the next room, we've got the loading time room. So called because it's one of those rooms where you just pull a lever that closes the door behind you and opens the one in front of you. And at last, a save fountain. I haven't seen one of those since the beginning of the video. So I'm going to call it quits here. Next time, we're going to keep going on the trail of the Mask of the Wraith, and we got to find it eventually.